Hi, I'm Dr. Mike, and welcome back to another edition of Wild Rounds. I'm here in an interesting location today. I'm actually on the roof of Great Bear Wilderness, and there's probably a number of our viewers who have watched our polar bears swimming in our pools underwater, but probably not too many of you have ever had the chance to see those pools from up above. And we've got two of our bears here with us today, and I'm going to throw some fish in there. We've got Hope over here, who's hopefully going to give us a nice dive into the water. We've got Amelia Gray jumping in, so we can always count on Amelia to go for a swim. But this is actually a really important location for our animal care staff, and I've got Dr. Rita Stacey here with me. And Rita, this is always such an incredible vantage point of our polar bears. It's a view that most people don't ever get to see, but it's actually a really helpful view from the standpoint of our animal care staff being able to really monitor the health and well-being of our animals. And talk a little bit about what takes place up here.
Yeah, our animal care staff really utilize this space for a lot of different types of environmental enrichment, different sort of treats that we can introduce into the habitat. Our timed belt feeders offer us that opportunity to put different sorts of treats and things in there, and then it is set on a timer and it will just automatically release, so the animals do have to go for a swim in order to collect some of those treats.
And it's part of our efforts to just keep the environment engaging for the animals. We talk about environmental enrichment, and really it's just a way for us to get our animals active, which is good for their health. It also is good for their mental stimulation, keeps the environment changing. They don't know for sure when something's going to fall out of it, but when it does, it's something that they want to be there to grab.
Exactly. Managing the animals socially is really important for their overall well-being. And we added Amelia Gray to our pair, Hudson and Hope. And so Amelia has definitely introduced herself well to Hudson. They're getting along great. And then most recently, Hope got reintroduced back to Hudson and met Amelia for the first time. And all that is going well. And we give them lots of space here at Great Bear Wilderness to spend time together, but also then to separate away from one another and move into an area where they might want to go and forage for food, look for some new enrichment, but then they have that time and space to come back together.
Yeah. And that's a big part of our efforts to just make the absolute best environment and the most stimulating environment for our animals.
Yeah, and here at the zoo, we do a lot of research by collecting various samples from the animals, voluntary blood samples to our staff and veterinarians. They contribute fecal samples often, very regularly and easily.
So fecal samples are obviously easy to find, but sometimes difficult to tell what bear it's from. What are the tricks that our team used to be able to tell those fecal samples apart?
Yeah, that's a great question, because it could be challenging, especially when we have three bears all living together. And so our animal care staff will feed each of the bears a particular diet, put human-safe dye into their food, so as they consume the food, they have a particular color fecal sample. And so when the staff go out the next day to clean the yards, they can find the colors that match the bears and the fecal samples that they're looking for.
And then from a blood sample standpoint, really incredible work that's been done by our teams to be able to collect those blood samples. And this is all done voluntarily by the animal. It's a trained behavior. They insert that paw in the right position. Our animal care teams and our vet teams are able to collect that blood sample with the bear voluntarily holding its paw there, and then reward that behavior when they're done. And I often joke that, you know, it's amazing that it's easier to sometimes collect a blood sample on a bear than it is on like a 6-year-old child at the doctor's office. But it's that incredible work that our teams put into that relationship that allows that to take place.
That's where our animal care staff really come into play. They know the animals so well. Peanut butter works really well with some of the bears, but some of them might want some lard, some may want a whole salmon, and it might vary even as the time of the year goes by.
A lot of that research effort right now, the saliva, the blood samples, the fecal samples, all allow us to look at hormones and really trying to understand a way to monitor and better predict pregnancy and breeding success in these animals.
Yeah, and from up here, you can actually see our cameras that we have mounted in this habitat. When the females could be pregnant, they do go into a den where they spend the majority of their time. And in the maternity den, we have cameras, we have microphones, and we can see and listen in to what's happening in there. You really can't do that in the wild because you don't know where the Females are going to den in the wild.
And then when we think about the challenges facing polar bears these days, as we look at loss of sea ice, as we look at climate change, it's really a changing environment for them. And one of the worries that a lot of us have is what that's going to do from a reproductive standpoint, and that the cycling and the timing of sea ice and the availability of access to the prey that they depend on changes. That may really start to disrupt some of those breeding cycles. So really understanding the reproductive cycle as well as what is going on in that den is really critical information that we need a baseline for moving forward. It's a wonderful time to come out for a visit. A lot of activity here. It's a great time to come see our polar bears. So we hope to see you all out here soon, and until next time, take care.